Mic'd up.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Yankees Coast to Coast, the late night issue. We're here.
It's not that late. It's only 9:30.
Yeah, God, this is when Coast to Coast seems unfair to me. Like I'm tired. I got to work tomorrow. This guy's, retired, living large. Probably has a golf game tomorrow.
Yes, I have an 8 o'clock tea time, as a matter of fact.
Oh, that's so tough. I'm sorry.
It might
Well,
rain. It might rain on me. I might melt on the wicked
hey,
winds.
look, I'm gonna be praying for rain just to annoy you
Yes.
once
After we get
again.
done, I have to go outside and bring in the cushions for my couch outside.
Oh, because you have wind, high wind and
Rain,
rain.
rain, 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 rain.
Good God, when it rains, you have cushion. Jesus, you people out there in
We have a nice
California.
couch in my backyard. You've seen it.
All right. Anyway, that was very
Anyhow,
disappointing. That was very disappointing because, again, there were opportunities to win. This is the kind of game that they lose a lot. Um, Year after year after year. Maybe all teams lose a lot of games like this. I don't know. I don't watch a lot of other teams, but it just seems to me that they play this game a whole lot. These stay in it. They're there, but they can't get that run over that they need. Um, I thought it was a great at bat to get the run scored. I really like Rosario's. I thought that was like one of the most professional at bats they've had in a few years.
contact,
Just
contact, contact.
contact, all he cared about. Now, of course, the next time he came up struck out on three, but you
Well,
know,
I have a comment about that, actually.
mm,
Um, they have no choice but to bat him in that situation. But the reason they have to bat him in that situation is because they
they don't have
are
another third
not
baseman.
carrying an extra infielder and they're carrying a third catcher. So the only thing
Yeah,
they could have done is send Escara up there, and then they would have no backup catcher or no third baseman if the game continued like that. That's where this third catcher thing did come to bite them on the butt. How often that happens in the season, I don't know, but clearly it's 1 in 4 games so far this year. If they have Cabrera on the bench in that situation and not Escara on the bench in that situation, he gets up there left-handed and hits and goes to play third base.
but they don't
So,
see him as a third catcher; they see him as a second catcher.
well, yeah. Well, I will say this: if the if the Yankees believe the Sharks just scored with 21 seconds left. So if the
Score.
Yankees believe what Boone said this weekend in San Francisco, that Escara would be a top 15 catcher if he played every day, that means the Yankees should be able to trade him to get something if other people believe that as well. Because if you're a top 15 catcher, that means you're good enough to start on more than half the teams in baseball.
Mm,
So they need to do something about that. But yeah, the bench hurt them here because they don't have another left-handed bat to bring off of the bench, um, other than Escara, which would have left them with no infielder, which is a Randall Grichuk era issue as well because he's useless because he plays one position, outfield. Whereas if they had Cabrera on the end of the bench, if he was not physically ready, then this is all moot. But if they have a Cabrera on the end of the bench, they have flexibility on their bench to put him in the outfield when they need him to, or put him on the infield. If you're going to pay
yeah,
Grisham $22 million, he's got to play every day. Grichuk wouldn't be seeing the light of day on any other team if you had a $22 million center fielder.
mm,
Um, a $22 million outfielder. So between Grichuk and the three catchers, this roster is constructed in such a way that really hurts the Yankees in a game like this.
yeah,
However, now that the Yankees have played 4 games, you do realize they played 4 games and they've scored in 6 innings.
yeah. I mean, it's not. This is
That's
it.
not good.
No, and
Um,
I was saying this is where they don't tack on, where they
well,
don't
they
add, they
didn't
don't
really have a chance to tack on. They had a chance to try and
no
take the lead and
to
didn't do it.
score. But I mean,
Yeah.
this is just the game. This offense. This is what we've got. A lot of strikeouts. Oh, they got some walks, some big pictures, but there's some big opportunities. Again, Stanton is right now carrying the team. Um, you know, uh, Judge has 2 hits, 2 home runs.
We got a hit today in the ninth
That's
inning.
right. That's right. He did a little doinker, which I'll take anytime. But I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it's just there's instances. The base running was atrocious again today. got what's his name got picked off.
Cabrera, Caballero got
Caballero, who actually the answer to all these problems, I hate to say it, is that Caballero is going to be that will be that anywhere player that can be, that's going to come back when what's his name when Volpe decides to stink up the joint back at shortstop again.
Rosario's supposed to be like that too because he could play the corner outfield positions
Yeah.
as well.
I don't know. It's a little frustrating. Thought the pitching. I thought I gotta tell you, Weathers start off bad, but I thought in the end pitched a solid what 5 1/3, maybe 5 2/3,
Four and a
four and a
third.
third. That's right. I told you I thought he was going to go out in the fifth inning because that was when he was going to pitch bar. But he really pulled it together.
I
What
thought
he
he
had
was going to
seven
come out in the second
strikeouts,
inning after the
six,
first inning.
seven strikeouts. It wasn't terrible. I
No,
mean,
he
it
wasn't
was.
terrible. What was interesting, though, was the way he picked it up. Right in the
Mhm.
first two innings, he threw
Yeah,
44 pitches, 27 strikes and 17 balls. But then in the next two innings, he threw 22 pitches combined, 16 strikes and 6 balls, and
yeah,
whipped through those the third and fourth inning, and then obviously in the fifth inning, his pitch count got up to what did he get up to 80? His pitch count was at 77, and they took him out and
hmm
brought in Cruz, which, bringing Cruz in the fifth inning in a tough situation
smart
with
move.
guys on base, came in and struck out the two batters he faced.
That was a great decision and the right man for the job. They were Michael Kay was, on his rare West Coast trip.
Was he in San
Was
Francisco? Because obviously I didn't get to.
he was, but only for the one day. Actually, I think he watched the game with his family on opening night, and then he was in the one game, and then I don't know if he left the next day or not.
Well, he
I
could have gone.
imagine
He wasn't going to go back to the East Coast. He would have gone to.
no, no, he was going to go up to Seattle,
He does
but
have a favorite burger place right near the stadium. So, and it was San Francisco, not Oakland. So that's a real city, even though the
yeah,
Yankees stay in
if it
San
was Oakland, he'd
Francisco.
never in a million years have
Yeah.
gone.
Well,
That's I
he's
don't think
afraid of
it's
the
been
possum.
10 years since he's
Anyhow,
gone.
so yeah, so as far as that goes, I think he handled the pitching okay. Leaving Duvall in for 3 pitches. That's the big hang up that you talked about in the
Oh,
text string. Um,
really? With rest. He's 2 days rest. He hasn't pitched. He didn't pitch yesterday, obviously, and the day before. So he could have gone. I mean, what is he thinking? Because he thinks he's going to need him tomorrow and the day after? No, Bednar is going to be back fine tomorrow. Bednar is going to to be back. Not that
Bednar would
Bednar
have been
was
fine
going to be
today,
tired
but
anyway. He would have worked anyway. Listen, this is why you have days off. You know, you use those. Those are your rest days. And we're hearing about how filthy he is. Use him. He came in and did a great job. One at bat, what a ground ball up the middle. Was that it? It was great.
was it? Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
No.
Hendrick allowed the 2 hits and then got out of it. Sort of got out of his inning a little bit with Duvall's
Yeah.
health. But it's you know, if Duvall pitches into the eighth inning, would Boone have let him go an inning and a third? And then what would he have done in the ninth? We would have had Blackburn in the ninth anyhow. Um, they're carrying a guy on the roster that shouldn't be on the roster in Mr. St. Louis Cardinal, Cade Winquist. Um, which, there's really what could they have put there? They could have had a hard throwing young guy in the bullpen that they could trust if they're not going to trust Winquist to come into these games. And he's not even a multi-inning reliever. That's what's really going to be scary is, you know, what's going on there. Um, so it's an interesting structure of a team with all these days off that he didn't let Duvall pitch was not a good decision. I didn't think either, but it's the Yankee way to not always just play with a game that's right in front of them to win today.
hmm
Like you
Yeah,
said,
got
it's
to
a
think.
game they
Got to
could try
worry.
and steal, but quite frankly, the way that they're hitting, maybe he was thinking we're not stealing this game. They were sitting back with what's his name, Munoz in their bullpen
Mm,
to throw out there in the 10th inning potentially. This guy
yeah.
Brash looked pretty good. Obviously, Spire was an all-star last year, had a
Jesus.
great year as
Boy,
well.
does he look
He
good
was
against
nasty
these guys.
left-hander, although he did throw all those damn sliders. I don't know how they didn't know it was coming. Um, and this Bizardo guy, that's a good name. But it's an odd little situation with the roster, on the offensive side and on the bullpen side.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, it's not going to be fun. This is going to be the way. I'm like I said, with the 3-1.
it's not
You
like the
can't be unhappy.
Mandalorian. This is the way.
But this is the way, and but these are the things that annoy you because they're I'm not saying their unforced errors. It just feels to me like they could do a little better with a couple of these choices. A little
Yeah.
bit of better roster construction, something. I'm still not loving the whole. I'm not loving the grit check thing. I'm not loving this.
I don't.
This
I
is,
think Grichuk is really the guy that should go. I was picking a little bit on
well, because that's an area.
Mascara, but I think that
How
Grichuk is the
nice
guy
would it
that
have
doesn't
been to
belong.
have? How nice it would have been to have Dominguez in that
Well,
situation.
Dominguez getting at bats. I have less of a problem with Dominguez getting at bats and Jones getting at bats at AAA. But unless Cabrera wasn't healthy, which I don't understand how he's not healthy if he was playing at the end of spring training and playing pretty much a full game, not having him on the team to be your do everything guy instead of Grichuk. Granted, Cabrera is not necessarily very good right-handed as a hitter, but you know, is Grichuk really that good? No, he's no
No,
Rob
what are
Refschneider.
you at 250
Not
against right
even,
hand?
not even.
I
But
mean,
I mean, if
against.
the Yankees were going to do this, the guy they should have got was Refschneider, right?
Mm,
If they're going to go for a guy that's going to get left-handed pitching, the guy to spend the money on, even though Grichuk is making pretty much league minimum for a veteran, spend the 6.5 million on Refschneider, which again comes back to they gave $22 million to Grisham. Everything they do on this roster comes back to twenty
oh,
two million
and
dollars to
he's
Grisham.
looking great. He's really doing it. A couple strikeouts today. Again, a little ground out.
You know, like his
Nice.
154 batting average and 575
Oh,
OPS.
he's doing everything that we thought. Leading off, getting on base, Judge up. Judge gets on base, nobody's on base. Judge gets up, nobody's up.
And he's
No one's
got
on
two
base.
strikeouts and two walks.
You
He's got a
know,
287 on base percentage and a
and
308 slugging and
that's
his
exactly what you want from your. And I
two
know
for
it's only
13.
4 games, but that's what we're looking at. That's what
Well,
you're
that's
looking
what he
at from your
was. I
leadoff.
mean, last year he didn't start out like this because he was hot and stole
Mhm.
the job. But yeah, I mean,
One
it's four
month from
games,
today,
but it's
1 month
scary
from
to
today, we're going to be
to
having
think
the
about what can
same
happen.
conversation. 1 month
The
from
other thing
today.
is what the hell was Stanton doing going for second base on that?
That was just stupid.
I can't believe he didn't
I
get
just
hurt. I'm shocked. He's going to need the day off tomorrow now, I'm
Yeah,
sure.
yeah,
But
yeah. Tomorrow's they'll let the judge DH tomorrow.
well, his
It-
DH is every day. You're going to say Judge is going to DH tomorrow?
Judge will DH tomorrow.
You think
You know.
so?
Well, maybe you're right because now he's tired. He had a hard day, a lot of
Well, he
running,
might have got hurt.
a
They
lot of
do have a
running.
right-handed pitcher pitching tomorrow in Logan Gilbert.
Hmm.
So we'll see what happens.
That could be a good one for him to
Freed goes
sit.
for the Yankees.
He sits and who do they have to? Who could be the left-hander DH tomorrow?
They could let Judge DH,
Judge DH and then put
put Grichuk in the outfield and let him play and sit
what
Stanton,
against the left
which of
against the
course now that the
righty?
guy's got 8 hits in 4 games, that would be a Yankee way to sit him. That would be the most
Exactly.
ridiculous thing ever.
It's
You know, I
exactly.
was waiting for
You
you to
know it's
jump
going to
on me for that
happen.
because I'm the guy that always says you can't sit the hot hand, right?
You know,
I'm
you
the guy
know
that
it's
always
going to
says analytics is great over 162 games, but playoffs you have to play the hot hand. Right now, the only hot hand in the entire lineup
carrying the team.
is Stanton. Now Rice has been better. Rice has
Rice
been
is good.
good.
Rice
He's
gets
been
a couple
okay.
hits.
He's been fine. I still think he's a butcher at first base. If you watch every single play where the throw is to his right side, he is almost falling over. He got pushed over by Bader the other day in
Mhm.
San Francisco, not because Bader was being a jackass, but because he was falling over for no reason. He
Yeah.
he falls over to his right
Well,
on
that
everything
play
to his
tonight
right.
was weird.
He should have had it.
Normally,
Listen, it's an error on McMahon, but he should have had
yeah,
it.
because I think when you kind of hope that they're going to hit the cutout that
They're going to hit.
far up.
You're going to
If
hit.
it,
You're
if
going to get a long hop,
you got a
and he got
long
a long
hop,
hop.
that's what you want. You don't want. I mean, it's like
Right.
in
And it
our
wasn't
league,
it
the
wasn't a wet
nine guys
grass
on our team
skipper.
that
It
can't
was
catch the ball at first
yeah,
base.
he
Every
should
ball.
have it, but it's McMahon's error. I mean, I know Goldschmidt would have had it. There was no issues about that, but Rice's bat is better than Goldschmidt's, and it was still a right-handed pitcher. So,
All
I
right.
mean, that's the
Anyway, on
bottom
that
line.
note,
Is this a game they could have won if they played it differently? Maybe they weren't
mhm,
hitting, and the bottom line is that they're not hitting
can't
still.
you
They
can't
did an
win if you
opening
don't get
day,
on
sort
base.
of, but they've scored in 6 innings. Two in the first game, two in the second game, I believe. No, one in the second game, two on Sunday, and one today. So they've
It's
scored
not going to win a
14
lot of
runs.
games. So
They've
three
scored
to
14 runs in 4 games, but 7 of them came in one game.
yeah.
This is very June-esque of them pitching wise, and they've won 3 out of 4. So
I
let's
guess we got to
hope
be
the,
happy with that.
and
Let's see
let's
how
hope
we
the
feel
pitching can keep
tomorrow
up.
after tomorrow's game. All right.
Yep.
Okay, buddy.
I'll
Good
see you
night. Going to
tomorrow.
bed.
Good luck in prison.
I'll be there. Bye bye.